we get like Jamala saying to Randall, she like, this like a little mini vacation. And then he was like, no, it's not.
Back up on my bullshit, back up on the scene. Done dealing with you, don't know how to deal with me. Done fucking with you, don't know how to love me.
Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome back to the channel and welcome if you are new. Hey girl, hey. So today we are going to be reviewing Ready to Love Season 6 Episode 8. So let's get into it. Okay, so in this episode, this is the getaway episode, and everybody starts to arrive at the house. And let me just say, that house was beautiful, okay? I love bright, beautiful spaces with bright white walls. Like, it just was giving, okay? It was very nice, very beautiful, very nicely decorated. Everybody starts to pick their rooms, and we do find out that LJ couldn't make it because he had something to do work-wise. But I feel like, if we are being honest, listen, LJ, I'm pretty sure that LJ got a girlfriend, okay? That girl was his girlfriend. You just cannot tell me nothing different. That girl was his girlfriend. They in cahoots on this. You know, he came on a show for some better opportunities, and the girlfriend was like, all right, you know what? Go do what you need to do. This man is not here for love, okay? So he didn't come because, for one, I feel like he don't even really have any real connections with anybody there. That's for one. But for two, like I said, he got a girlfriend. Don't you tell me nothing different. He got a girlfriend. That's it. That's all. I also was like, why do, like, after having met his ex-girlfriend, finding out that they are still having sex, because a month ago is still having sex, okay? She said about a month ago too, so that probably was 3 weeks. Okay, so that's really still having sex. But I'm just like, Trinika, why do you even care? Why do you want to even like still be in connection with him? It's all for the show. That's why. Because it's no way you're going to tell me in real life you sit down with a man and his ex-girlfriend and then she tells you that they had sex about a month ago and you're still going to be checking for him. No. So to me, I just was feeling like, girl, let this man go. He got a girlfriend, and that's why he ain't come. But Randall also says in this episode, like when he arrives, that he is stressed, okay? Because he has 3 connections, and he know all of these women are about to be on his head, okay? And then he also knows that because he's going to be having to divide his time between the women, that the other women are probably going to be feeling away and pressing him and playing tug of war with him. And so he is stressed about it. Tommy says that LJ not being there is a red flag. And it's like, yes, it's a red flag because he got a girlfriend. So then we get, like, once everybody is getting there and getting settled in, Katie starts to be messy. But here's the thing, though. I feel like Mike said that Katie is like a thorn in his butt. But I feel like he kind of started with her saying to her, like, why you only got 1 connection? So it's like you started with her being like, why you only got 1 connection? And then she was like, okay, so this is what you're on. Got you. And then she started to be messy. But I feel like he kind of started with her. So when she was like digging into like his connections and stuff like that, it just was like, had you not said anything to her, she probably wouldn't have even brought it up. But you just had to poke the bear. In that scene, though, Mike just was not really giving Kayla what she needed, and she said that he really only makes her feel like they have a connection when it's just them two, and that's not okay. She also was saying that like he doesn't have a problem with claiming Brandy and talking about his connection with Brandy, but with her to Brandy, he doesn't want to do that. And I'm like thinking to myself, like, then, you know, that speaks volumes. She did kind of like storm off or whatever. So I know she was like feeling away. But I feel like for me, we also saw like the preview. I'm skipping ahead for a second. And like the preview for the next episode, that like when he is saying bye to her, she says that he says he still wants to work on their connection. She like, oh, well, now that Brandy left, now you have time to talk to me. And it's like, no, like, don't let it be that. I feel like Kayla needs to take that for what it is. He has prioritized Brandy, and whatever time he has left over or whatever he could sprinkle in, he'll give it to you, and that's not okay. Like, you don't want to get somebody's leftover time. You want them to prioritize you, and that's not what he's doing. So then we get like Jamala saying to Randall, she like, this like a little mini vacation. And then he was like, no, it's not. like, girl, I'm stressed. Then she like, why not? And then he like, because like this is a lot. We're all in the same place right now, and you only have me as a connection. So to you, yeah, you thinking it's gonna be like a little mini vacation, but for me, I got 3 women's, okay, and it's a lot. I just really thought that was funny. She's like, this is gonna be like a little mini vacation, and he like, no. So then we get like a scene with Samson and Brandy, and I feel like Samson was basically just telling Brandy, like, you know what? I have something with Sharice, and me and you don't have that romantic spark. So let's just basically like call it that. I feel like that's what the synopsis of that conversation was. So then we get Trinika and Randall having a conversation, and they were bonding and touching on each other and talking about stuff. And I was like, okay, they were seeming to really connect. So I was like, okay, like genuinely. So that was cool to see. So then we also see Kayla and Randall at the pool, and then Jamala comes over, and they are in the mix for like a second, and then Randall and Kayla get up and dip off, and then Jamala comes in the room and like snatches her stuff, and she is pissed off, she is upset, okay, she is mad. Now here's the thing with this, because later on, Jamala and Randall talk, and they kind of exchange words or whatever. So I feel like, here's the thing. Randall could have stated his intention going into this little getaway, right? He could have said to Jamala, you are my main connection, right? And I've already cultivated something great with you and really bonded with you and connected with you, and I see that we have something there. But because we are in this process and on this show, I do want to see if I have something with these other women. So while at this getaway, I am going to try and get to know them and see if there's something there for real on a deep level. And then I feel like she would have been able to go into it knowing that, like, okay, so he is going to be kind of like filling things out and getting to spend time with the other ladies. Communication is key. So had he would have said that to her, she probably still would have tripped and got jealous seeing him like talking to the other girls. But I feel like at least he would have stated his intention from the beginning, so there was no like confusion. But he didn't do that. So Jamala was feeling away because she probably went in thinking she was going to get all his time, and she really didn't get much of any of it that first day. Like, we didn't really see them spending much of any time together. But I do feel like Jamala is a woman in her 30s, right? So I feel like instead of throwing a tantrum the way that she did, I feel like she could have just simply been like, hey, you know, can I talk to you for a second? And then said, I'm feeling away because I really thought that we were going to spend a lot of time together going into this, and I haven't really gotten a chance to spend time with you. And then they could have talked about it from there. But I feel like, you know, her storming in there and like just acting the way she was acting, it was unnecessary and it was kind of childish. Moving on from that though, we see Trinika call LJ, and I just was again like, why are you calling this man? You literally had lunch or whatever with him and his ex-girlfriend and found out that they were still having sex. Like, what is there really to discuss? So I just was confused as to why they were having a conversation, and then she was like, you know, holding up the phone, showing off her bathing suit and stuff, and it just was like, this is clearly for the show. Like, this is for the show. Please, like, go away from me with this. But I was literally at that point just like making jokes when I was watching. I'm like, leave that man alone. He is with his girlfriend, okay? He with his girlfriend. She probably over in the corner, you know what I'm saying? Because she know, like, all right, we doing this for the show. Wink, wink, like, but it's still like me and you. I'm like, this man got a girlfriend. Like, please stop disrupting him and his girl. I feel like the scene with Sharice and Samson, Sharice was giving off the vibes that, like, she was kind of like getting annoyed with him. You know how like you start like when you talking to somebody and then you start to like notice little things that they do that you don't like, and then you like, do I even really like you for real? Like, I feel like that's what Sharice was giving off in that scene with her and Samson when he was like talking about being goofy and having a food truck. She was not giving off the vibes of like like, I like you. She was giving off the vibes like, You know, was I the only one that picked that up? I don't know. But she does say that, like, he is not opening up to her. Like, he still kind of has, like, a wall up. And that's the thing. People could tell when you are just being open and vulnerable and just yourself. And they could tell and feel when you are holding back. And to me, I feel like when somebody is holding back, usually there is a reason. Whatever that reason may be, usually it's a reason, and it's usually a reason that you need to find out sooner than later. So then the next scene is like Jamala and Randall talking, and I already talked about that. But then the couples, well, not the couples, Lord Jesus, the men and the women have dinner, and Samson posed the question, and Tronika answered, and Randall was like tearing up. And then he gave his answer. And I really hope that Randall is all that he appears to be, and we don't end up finding out stuff about him later on in the season or in a reunion, because he does seem to be just like a genuine person. And I really hope that that holds up and stands true throughout the rest of the season and the reunion. I hope we don't find out that he do no F junk. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I thought that was, like, sweet. We don't usually get to see men just be present in their emotions. So that was cool to see. But I felt like Jamala had made a little, like, snide remark. And I felt like she was feeling some kind of way because he was touched by what Tronika said. And it's just like, Jamala is giving off very much so. But again, I feel like that's why you gotta really reel yourself in. When you start to feel yourself getting super attached to somebody in a situation like this, regardless of what they may be saying to you, you have to still be like, okay, let me have a reality check for myself, because we are in this type of situation and setting. So let me just check myself. And you know what I'm saying? So you don't end up being so attached to somebody that's not even yours yet. So it's the next day, and then the women talk to Tommy or whatever, and we find out that Swayze and Samson are in the bottom. But to me, I feel like LJ should be the one that's eliminated, because I was confused when they was like talking about the people that they like and don't like. I feel like Swayze has a connection with Kadian, and I feel like Samson has a connection with Sharice, but what real connection does LJ have? He doesn't have one. So I feel like he should be the one that leaves, but he's not there right now, so we don't know what's going to happen because the episode went off. But I hope, well, not hope, but I think LJ should be the one that gets eliminated, because he really doesn't have a strong connection with anybody. And nor should he, because he got a girlfriend, okay? But anyways, that was that for this episode of Ready to Love. Let me know down in the comments what you thought. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you are not subscribed. And I will catch you in the next one. Bye!